Hello everyone, ReeferGil here with a 4-year coral update.
These corals have been underneath aqua illumination Vega colored LED lights for the entire time they've been in my system. I purchased the lights about 4 years ago when LEDs were still roughly a new idea. The only thing missing from these aqua illumination Vega lights is the UV light that are now pretty common in newer model LED lights. So I'm looking forward to upgrading my lights with the new system. The Vega lights are on a 2-hour ramp time. They turn on at 5:25 in the morning and shut down at roughly around 6:25 in the evening is when they start ramping down for 2 hours. At max brightness, I have the whites set for 70%, the red and green are at 20%, and all the blues are at 85%. Let's go over the corals one by one.
We'll start off on the left side of the tank and work our way down to the right side of the tank. First, the coral to put up here on the video is this green bird's nest. Very hardy coral, very vibrant green coloration to it. Really like this guy. This is my purple stylo, another very hardy coral, easy to keep. Usually this purple stylo is a lot more full than it is now. Not sure what's going on with it. We'll keep an eye on him. Next up is this kind of reddish burgundy coral. Not really sure what the name of it is, but he's doing fine also. Down here, this is the Sunset Setosa. It encrusts on the rock. When I first got it, it was probably about this big, so you could see the growth on it now. It's completely encrusted. You gotta be very careful where you put these corals that encrust on the rock, otherwise it'll become a big problem. However, he's doing just fine where he's at. Another encrusting coral, this is the meteor shower. This little head right here, that's what I first had when I introduced him into the tank, and you can see how he's grown out and encrusted on the rock. When I got this guy in the back here as a frag, he came in as a green frag, then he turned bluish greenish, and now he's this purple, green, and blue coloration. Very pretty coral. It was grown quite a bit. Here's my strawberry shortcake, also growing just fine. Tentacles are out sweeping. Very beautiful coral here. Here's my Tierra de Fuego, also purchased as a very small frag for about $120, and you can see how big he's gotten now. But obviously probably the most expensive coral I have in the tank right now. I have no idea what this would be worth. Here's a wild caught green acro. This guy is just huge. He's encrusted on the back of the overflow box. When I do water changes, he actually breaks the water surface and is exposed during water changes. Really pretty green colored coral. And down below the mass of the bushing table corals is this blue tort. He's still got really great coloration. He's getting some light, but once he makes the move into the next tank, he's gonna have ample room to grow. And here's a pink bird's nest, also really cool coral. He's gone up and down. I thought I was going to lose him a couple of times. As you can see, it's the battle of the strongest will survive in this area here. And he's bounced back quite a bit, worked his way up on top of the other corals, and is getting plenty of light. And this is some kind of stag coral. He's alright, kind of plain colored coral, but his tips are really cool, and unfortunately I can't capture them very well, but they're a bluish purple neon colored looking tips on this thing, so that makes them really cool to keep in the tank. When choosing your corals, be careful not to buy corals that become a nuisance, like these burgundy mushrooms. They have just taken over the entire system. They're all over the place in places I wouldn't want them, but there's nothing much you can really do once they start proliferating like this. So you can see they just attach themselves everywhere, and they have the ability to attach and detach similar to anemones, so just a word of caution on that. Unlike the burgundy mushrooms, these green mushrooms are really cool. They look a lot better. They're not a nuisance like the burgundy mushrooms. They tend to stay put rather than float around. Very happy with these guys. Definitely be moving them into the next tank. My Duncan coral here in the back is doing just great, growing all kinds of new heads. He's actually looking a little grumpy right now. A couple of his heads are closed up. Not sure if a cleanup crew member has walked on him or what, but very cool coloration to this guy. And also with his tentacles, gives some movement to the system. Here's a shot of my clam. He's doing very well, continues to grow. Oftentimes when you purchase a coral, you have no idea what the coral is going to grow out to look like. And that was the case with this particular coral here. He was a single finger on a frag plug. I put him in the tank, and he actually started growing downward and started encrusting on the rock. And you could see the little fingers starting to come up now. All these little fingers are brand new. The longest one in the middle was the original frag that I put in the tank. Really pretty looking coral. He has like ice blue tips to him and like green polyps all around him. Here's my red dragon. Also came as a small frag. As a matter of fact, every single coral in the system came in as a frag and has grown out over the years. But you can see how large this red dragon has gotten. This yellow and green coral up here, he looks like two different corals blended into one, because half of them is a dark green while the other half is a yellow color. Not sure what the name of this guy is either. Purple, greens. He's kind of growing at a sideways angle, which is kind of a bummer. But if you look from the top down, you could really see his colors pop. And this poor guy here, I put him on the rock when he was a frag, well before the anemone turned itself into this big bushy monster and stinging everything around it. Now it's getting stung up. You could see down at the bottom here where the cyano is starting to grow. He's just getting stung. So hopefully the move will come sooner than later for this coral. And here are all the anemones. I have no idea how many times these guys have split or how many anemones are actually in the tank. There's actually one way in the back as well, but they're just stinging everything around it. Again, pre-plan your placement for the corals around anemones and other types of corals that have tentacles that reach out and sting. Ideally, you'd want these guys on their own little island. That's only if they cooperate, of course. But when we make the move, that's what my plan is, to reduce the number of anemones I have and to create a little island so that hopefully they stay there and they can have their symbiotic relationship with the two black and white Ocellaris clowns that I have. Here's what's left of my zoa garden. I've got some purple looking polyps on the left, blue tubs in the middle, green zoas on the right side, as well as a few polyps and zoas over there. Hopefully I'll be expanding my zoa garden in the new system, as there's a variety of different choices of colors for these guys, and they really make the aquarium pop. That'll do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember, stay tuned for a new aquarium build from the ground up. I'll be showcasing all the new upgraded equipment that I have, as well as a new tank and stand. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thanks.